For years now, Channel 4's Joel Grover has been uncovering cheating at some of the nation's major lube and tune chains. Tonight, he's exposing a whole new problem heard from car owners all across this country. Are these repair shops performing services that car makers say can damage people's cars? Here's Joel now with his new investigation. Joel.
Well, Paul, this is a story we couldn't ignore. Imagine driving into a repair shop for an oil change and driving out with a ruined engine or transmission, costing you thousands of dollars. It's a problem we keep hearing about, so we investigated. Watch what happens when we take this Honda Accord to this Jiffy Lube.
Here for an oil change.
And they try to sell us what's called an engine flush or engine cleaning.
The engine cleaning is every 2 years, 30,000 miles required for the vehicle.
But we've heard from customers across the country
I had to replace the entire engine,
who say their engines broke down after having an engine flush. The engine was gone.
Gone. It stopped.
And it's something those big chains won't talk about. This shop could be damaging people's cars. Like with that engine flush,
It prolongs the life of the engine.
the Jiffy Lube tried to sell us for our Honda. An engine flush is where they pour a chemical solvent into your engine, supposedly to flush out old sludge.
Is that something the Honda recommends?
It requires it every 2 years, every 30,000 miles.
That's not true. Our car's maintenance schedule says nothing about doing an engine flush. Chris Martin of the Honda Corporation.
After engine flushes, there's a pretty high incidence of some damage to the interior of the engine.
That's why Honda issued this memo to mechanics advising them not to perform engine flushes. And other major car makers, including Ford, General Motors, and Nissan, have all issued similar advisories against doing the service. Why? Because over time, gummy deposits can build up inside your engine. The chemicals used for an engine flush are supposed to break up those deposits. But car makers say pieces of that broken up sediment can clog up other parts of the engine and ruin it.
The car ran perfectly fine before I took it in that day.
Pat Marriott took his Nissan Sentra to this Jiffy Lube.
They hard sold me into an engine flush, essentially.
3 days later, out on the highway,
The engine stopped. Anybody could have slid into the back of me at that point.
he had to replace his engine, which cost him $5,000. That's because Nissan and other car makers say damage resulting from engine flushes won't be covered by your warranty. At other Jiffy Lubes, like this one in West L.A.,
Well, is there anything else that it's due for?
Cleaning up injectors on the vehicle, the fuel injectors.
they offered us other services, like a fuel injection cleaning. That's where they put a chemical cleaner into your fuel injectors.
Does Honda recommend I do the fuel injection cleaning?
It's every 15,000 miles for every year recommended.
That's not true
not
again.
recommended anyway.
Honda and other big car makers say fuel injection cleaning is an improper repair procedure.
Using the cleaner or using a fuel injection cleaning system can cause harm to other injectors.
And Jiffy Lube isn't the only major chain recommending services that car makers say could be harmful.
Can that hurt my car in any way?
It happened to us at Easy Lube, like at this one in Silver Lake.
And does Honda recommend an engine flush?
They recommend everything. I'm telling you, we go by whatever the manufacturer recommended.
We
All the
asked him for
services?
proof,
It's over
since
here on the
Easy Lube's computer lists all manufacturer recommendations.
Can you show me on your computer, like,
But
where?
there's no engine flush listed.
How come they're not on the computer?
Across town at this Easy Lube near Santa Monica,
It's a transmission flush with the machine.
they're pushing a $99 transmission service using this high-tech flushing machine.
Hook it up to the transmission and it cycles the transmission fluid.
Does Honda recommend it be done with a machine like that?
Correct. That's the only way you can do it.
That's also not true. Honda's memo to mechanics says do not use transmission flushing machines because of the risks to cars. All told, 4 out of 5 Jiffy Lubes and 5 out of 5 Easy Lubes pushed services that car makers don't recommend, but they told us the opposite.
And does Honda recommend an engine flush?
This is you on videotape.
Okay.
We went back to the manager at that Silver Lake Easy Lube. You said Honda recommends an engine flush. That's not true.
Okay.
Why did you say that?
Well, I don't know, man. Well,
You don't know? Excuse me. As for those technicians at Jiffy Lube who didn't tell us the truth,
Okay, so then all of this stuff is recommended by Honda.
this customer was working with us undercover. They wouldn't talk to us on camera. Are you the manager? And neither would their bosses.
Can you guys turn the cameras off?
Why is everyone at Jiffy Lube afraid to talk to us? Executives at both Jiffy Lube and Easy Lube declined our offer to watch our undercover tape and do interviews. But in separate statements, both companies said it was unacceptable for their employees to misrepresent certain services as manufacturer recommendations when they're clearly not. Jiffy Lube says they're taking steps to minimize the chance of that occurring again, and they want to hear from unhappy customers. And Easy Lube tells us at least one of the employees we caught on tape has now been terminated. You can read both companies' full statements on our website, NBCLosAngeles.com. And Paul and Colleen, we will have more on this story in the coming days.